Hello, everybody. It's David, ECBA 402, coming to you today from the top deck of the Celebrity cruise ship Reflection, which is the largest ship in their fleet. And you'll see behind me the mountains of Italy. We're right off the Cinque Terre here, which are the 5 cities that kind of hug along the coast of northern Italy. Used to be kind of a sleepy villages. Now tourists have overrun them. I happened to be here about 25 years ago, so it was nice to be able to experience them before the rest of the world got to experience them. So I want to talk about discussion board 3 this week, and I think it's going to be really kind of applicable for this whole cruise ship discussion because it talks about planning and recruitment. The assignment this week talks about diversity and how human resources needs to focus in those areas. I just want to give you a little tip here, a few things on Celebrity. I had the pleasure of meeting their chief human resource officer on this cruise ship, and tried to get her to come on and do a video with me, but for legal reasons, the company won't let her do things like that. But I did get some really good information from her that I think might be interesting for you in a human resource class. Currently, with the way this ship is laid out, they can have up to about 3,000 guests, and they have 1,200 employees. And so there are 2.5, let's see, one employee for every 2.5 guests on board. And so you think about that, with 1,200 people on one ship, the manager of human resources has to be a pretty darn important person on this ship. The other interesting fact as it relates to this is that there are 20 countries represented on the team here. So talk about diversity, right? And so this person hires and brings on board people from all over the world. And so there are 20 countries represented on your team. Can you imagine that if you were the head of HR in a company in Charleston and you had people from 20 different countries that you had to be responsible for? The other complexities that you have here are human resource laws are different around the world. And this ship happens to be registered, or they call it flagged, in Malta. And so while there are maritime laws that are out there, the maritime organizations may set laws, but they don't have any legal enforcement ways to enforce the laws that they put out there. And so for the most part, what she explained to me is that they have to abide by the HR laws of Malta, which is in the Greek islands and often in that area. They do that for a lot of reasons, most of which are taxes and costs and finance. But one of the challenges today is to find a good, diverse workforce. And so you'll see on this ship, for example, there are a lot of employees from India, a lot from Indonesia, and countries whose standard of living is not as high as what we have in the United States and certainly in different areas of Europe. And so they are able to offer incredibly competitive wages for those folks when they make comparisons to their home country. And that's really important. The other thing that happens today is because cruising is much more focused than it used to be, it's much more popular than it used to be, they have to focus on different things to make sure that they have consumers who are incredibly happy. So it doesn't do them a favor to have employees who don't want to hang around for a while. Our maitre d' at this little dining area that we have on this ship has been with the company over 25 years. And so it behooves them to delight their employees going forward. So just because the salary profiles may be a little bit less than what we would expect, certainly for those folks who are coming from Indonesia, from India, Pakistan, Eastern European countries, find this very, very compelling. And so I thought it would be kind of cool just to talk about that as my portion of the discussion this week. And and understand how planning and recruitment are very, very important. Because again, the guests here, I'm on this European cruise, and there are very few Americans on this cruise. Most are Europeans, and some Asians. And so not only do they have to focus on their own employees, but they have to focus on the diversity of the guests as well. So just kind of interesting stuff. Look forward to hearing your and seeing your comments this week. Take care. Talk to you soon.